I'm really honored to have this opportunity to meet and speak with David Garrigues. David, I really appreciate you accepting my invitation to be on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Todd. I thank you for inviting me. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you. I've had a lot of different Ashtanga yoga or yoga practitioners over the years come through the doors and mention how much they appreciate your work. So I'm really excited for this opportunity. I've been looking forward to this. So you have a lot of years of practice, and I read that you started practicing at the age of 16, self-learning the sun salutations. How did that initial exposure shape your perception of yoga?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm almost back to it with how I practice now, which is like yeah, I well I would do it outside when I learned the sun salutation. Then I'd go. There was a little beach by my house, and I would go and do it. Um, there, just sun salutations, never. Um, and it was a really mystical thing for me, actually. And I even wrote a paper about it in high school that was called "The World is a Sacrament." So it was like this whole revelation that like like I was worshiping outside on the beach, with the sky and the sun, and it didn't have to be inside in a church or something.
Yeah.
And so uh, then and yeah, I turned that paper in, and the teacher, for some reason, he used to read the papers out loud in the class, and he said, like, "Is there anyone that doesn't want me to read theirs out loud?" And I was like, "Me."
Yeah,
And he understood. He didn't. He said, "Oh, okay, no problem."
that's
Uh,
classic.
but
Because it was an out there idea, I'm guessing at age 16. I mean, is this a public or a private school or
no, it was just a public school. Totally. Yeah, this was like, yeah, and I still remember what he wrote on it. He wrote like something like a fine expression of your spiritual quest or steer. It was,
nice.
and like, and it's funny because you hear that don't practice outside, but that's exactly what I do now. I I practice really basic stuff, and I just like I practice inside when I have to. But if I have the choice, I go out. I've made a whole space, and I love the same thing that started me.
That's cool, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Did you come across a book that had pictures of a sun salute? I mean, we're going back to, I don't know what year this is, but obviously it wasn't YouTube you were watching.
No,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. No, my this friend taught it to me. This dishwasher at a restaurant that I worked at.
yes.
He was a real he Egg is a real intellectual. So he knew a lot about a lot of different things. He's a very cool guy, but he knew a little bit about yoga, and then he knew the sun salutation, and he took me out and taught it to me.
That's so
Yeah.
cool that you say that, man. Because I remember working in a restaurant at 16 and the cooks got me into the Grateful Dead and I went and saw my first Dead show. And so it's funny, like the things that we learned working in a restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's cool, man. Well, I also noticed that you then started studying under a teacher, Marie Svoboda, in 91. What was it like to go from being a rogue outdoor self-taught yogi to now being under tutelage?
Yeah, it was that was a real trip actually. Like and it's funny because I don't remember like having resistance or anything like that. I just know that when I met her, I had done some little bit of other yoga before that. Not very much, but when I met her, like no, it was unbelievable actually. So the very first class I went with her, I was like really intense about yoga by the time I got to her. I was or very not very experienced, but like really into it. And and I had studied a little bit of Iyengar yoga, and they did not focus on lotus pose at all. Like, so and then, but I saw the pictures and like the yogis doing, and I wanted to do lotus, and so for some reason, the first class I took with her, she just looked at me really mystically and went, "You want to do the lotus?" I'm like, "Whoa! How did you know?" Like, what? And yeah, and so she was a very intense woman. But I moved in Seattle. I moved to her neighborhood to be by her studio. So I started going to all of her classes, and she taught her own thing. And what I the when I reflect on it, what it was that she taught, it was so interesting because she was really into how you got into your pose, like which is what vinyasa is all about, right? And it's about the transition, or it's a big emphasis on that. And that's what she was into, this whole process of how you went about it. And rather than you're just, as soon as you're doing the pose, it was kind of lost interest to her. Like it was
Mm,
this
that's
whole
cool.
process, how you're going to approach it and go into it and what the movement was going to be and what your thought process.
That is
And
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. So wait, this is around 91 and you're in Seattle. So you were in Seattle at the kind of birth of the whole grunge era as well. Was that something that was on your radar at the
Well, what's
time?
so strange is I had left that, right? Like I had been a punk and done, played in bands and well, in one band, not bands, but a big band that like was really influential in creating that grunge.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very cool, David. I didn't know that. That's amazing. That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's kind of intense actually, but so, so so anyway, but I left that and I went to Evergreen State College in Olympia, um, and studied and then I I left it all that behind. And then when I came back to Seattle, I was just completely not part of any of it. Like I didn't even know Nirvana or anything. Like that's how kind of out of the loop I became
Wow.
on it. Um,
That's cool,
so
man.
I was,
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
I remember as a teenager, I looked at Evergreen College and that was like for me seemed like the holy grail of potential schools to go to at that age.
Yeah.
Was it as cool as it seemed from the brochures? And
Yeah, it was well, it changed, but like the from the 70s or whenever it started, it was amazing,
yeah,
Todd.
yeah.
It was based on like that no program would ever repeat, like
Wow.
yeah. And so and when I went there in 86 is the my first year there, it had these called it independent studies where you could write your own program, but it was turning more and more just kind of conventional. A lot of the original teachers were still there, and it was amazing. Like I lived it's all on the Sound, the campus, and I lived across the Puget Sound, so inland sea. So I lived across the bay. So I would kayak across the bay, stash the kayak in the woods, and go up to school.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, whoa.
Yes.
Holy-
Yeah. A different era, right? Like just
And I did my own independent studies, and I was part of the Native American studies. They had a big, strong part representation there, and yeah, it was totally amazing. Really, I had the weirdest education, and I left kind of bummed in a way, like honestly, like or because it was so unconventional. Like I got a BA degree, but I'd studied like Zen meditation and macrobiotic cooking and kayak building and like all kinds of really intense, weird stuff, which is so awesome, looking back on it. But it certainly didn't like prepare me for grad school or
Yeah. The workforce was like, yeah, okay, well,
yeah,
we don't need
yeah,
any canoes built right now. So, yeah. Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that's classic, man. Well, at what point did you take your first trip to Mysore?
So it was in Marie's studio that I saw video of Pattabhi Jois teaching. There's that Tom Sewell. He's a shot those like film black and white sessions with Richard Freeman and Tim and Chuck and Monty and like just whoa, like I saw one of those videos from her studio and I was just like blown away by the whole thing. Like I never seen yoga like that, like with the vinyasa and just I mean, wow, like
Yes.
because that was before even vinyasa yoga was popular, really. What 1993 is when I saw that, and then right after I saw that video, I saw it was in the Yoga Journal. I actually Joy got it for me, the old copy, the ad of him. He was coming to America, Pattabhi Jois, in 1993, and so I decided I'm going to go there and learn Ashtanga from him to LA. So that's what I did. I'd never done it before. Just walked into the lead primary with the master.
Yes. Yes. Thoughts and feelings about what that experience was like. Did it blow your
Uh,
mind?
it terrified me. Like I just can't tell you. It was,
How nervous you were going in?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, it's a weird response to it, but what I ended up doing is I fasted on fruit for the whole month.
Oh,
Got so scared. I don't know why that was my response. Like that's how I thought I would be more powerful or something. But yeah. And
oh, what would that leave you feeling like in relation to having energy to do such a
I
demanding?
had so much energy. I practiced twice a day, and I camped up in Topanga Canyon for the month. And I I went I went yeah, I would practice in the afternoon after the class. Um, so I had no problem with the energy.
Amazing. Yeah. So wasn't it? That's classic. So on top of the morning session, you would go home so amped and do it again, and then wake up the next morning and go with him. And that
Yeah.
that is a
And
good example of having a lot of energy. Yeah.
and then like it was, I mean, I was just sort of blown away by the whole thing. I knew no Sanskrit. I knew nothing, and he's going, A, come, inhale. Dve. I didn't know the series. I didn't really prepare in advance or anything. So I was just like, just scrambling to understand. And like, I was from a skateboarder and stuff. So I was really strong. Like I did freestyle skateboarding, handstands and all kinds of stuff. And so I was strong, but really stiff. And so like in Buddha Konasana, I was just super stiff. And there was one guy in the class that he knew Pattabhi Jois, so he would get the Buddha Konasana adjustment every day, and he was really stiff, and he would like turn purple. And I was like terrified. And then Pattabhi Jois came to me one day, and he put one hand on one knee and his foot on the other, and his hand on my head, and he pushed me a little bit forward, not a lot, just a little bit, and I was just like, it was so weird. It's something cosmic happened in that moment. I sort of liken it. I might be idealizing it, but that funny story of Krishna when he eats dirt. And then his friends go tell him, "Oh, Krishna ate dirt." And his mother's like, "What, you naughty boy, you're eating dirt." And he goes, "Let me," she wants to see, "Open your mouth, let me see." Right. And she opens his mouth and she looks and she sees like the whole cosmos inside there. Yeah, that was like this weird moment of like this whole perspective change. I was like, saw this huge expanse open or something, you know? And then then he just pulled me right back up and he goes, "No fearing, you go." Because he
Amazing.
saw, I sensed all that fear, you know?
And there you
And
go. You know, that's really cool to hear, David, because I remember when my wife and I were going, we took our first primary series class with him in Mysore, and I had heard so many horror stories about that one particular pose, about people being pushed so severely deep into it that they couldn't get up off of the floor after. So the process of actually landing in the room, I was completely terrified. So I'm actually really happy to hear you had a Krishna mouth opening experience, or that he, and I just got to ask you, like, what is your take on the fish stories that we've heard about these mega aggressive adjustments and then the reality of it and your take on it in the current situation we're in the modern world?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I've built my everything I do around kind of safety and protection and working in steps. And I mean, I've come a long way since then in terms of how I view it and what I think. And really, when it comes down to it, it's just, well, there's a lot to say, but one thing is, it's just those intense adjustments, even if they're good, there's risk. They're kind of high risk. And I'm not, I personally, as a person and as a like my own practitioner and as a teacher, I'm not willing to go to do that, take those risks, even if it means put maybe like less opening or something like that. Like I just feels risky. And when I was 28 or whatever, when I met Pattabhi Jois and I went to Mysore right after he told me, "Come, you come to Mysore," and I came, and um, you know, I never had any bad adjustment from him
Nice.
ever, and um, so and also, but to me, he worked with people very individually, and I mean, I know he worked with me like that. The spirit that adjustment that he gave me in LA was exactly how he worked with me all along. Like late, he didn't, he wouldn't, he actually wouldn't help me. It was more that like he wouldn't help me until I stopped caring about whether he would help me when
Mm,
like
yeah. Wow.
and so he did not push me. He in fact if yeah. And
I see what you're saying.
yeah. And I'm not saying that he didn't push other people, or like I'm not trying to discredit or anything like that, but um and I don't think, well, I think that the evolution of it, things evolve hopefully naturally and wholesomely, or that there is that potential for them for things to happen with things. Um, and we're part of a big experiment. And so we want to, I mean, to me, I try to honor what's good about the past and what happened to me, what I observed, and what people just the and take what's good and move forward intelligently. And also me, I've spent you know, a lot of time with myself practicing and exploring and discovering all, huge uh, territories of Ashtanga and Hatha Yoga that Pattabhi Jois didn't teach me. And um, and those are valid to me. Those are important, and I've taken the time to like write them down and put them in videos and share. But somebody else, then the next people are going to go. They're going to have their new place to take it,
Yeah.
and this is the natural thing. And so, um,
Good
but
answer.
it doesn't
Good answer.
include bad adjustments, and that there's definitely people that got hurt, and still now it's happening. People getting bad adjustments, and
Yes.
that
Yeah.
are so.
Why do you, maybe because I saw a recent post you did on Instagram where you referenced the yoga fascista, and I loved how, okay, so the big question about progressing one's practice and then hitting a plateau where it feels like I'm not progressing. And so you
Yeah,
you put attention on the a stanza or line within that text that mentioned that there are limits. Because maybe as like you and I coming into yoga from the that zone of mind where you were when you were younger going Padmasana. Whoa, look at that yogi,
yeah,
right? I want to be able to do that. And so, there's this fervor or excitement to, or maybe this idea that if I practice yoga, I'll go into a realm of limitless potential. And then I see pictures of people doing really extreme stuff. And I think, well, if I just work hard enough, I'll eventually one day be just like them. And I love the way that you were addressing um, your thoughts on this. Could you elaborate a little bit that for us here and about how if we do acknowledge that there are limits, then how we could set up different parameters for understanding what the definition of success is in a yoga practice?
yeah. I mean, you're saying it so nicely. I mean, it's a really unpopular idea right now, and that that the idea that there's limits, right? You always want to think you could do anything, and it's just it's well I wish I could call up this. I might be able to find it on my phone, but Joy shared with me this thing about this guy. He's talking about how dangerous and like harmful it is when there's like everything's based on achievement, and it's like limitless what you can achieve, and like how that's actually what he's arguing in this thing is that that is what leads to like depression and like really feeling lost. And because in that book, see, the Yoga Vashista, it looks like it's telling you that because it says things like you hear, like you see on Instagram all the time, like it says when failure occurs, it can be seen as slackness as of the effort, right? So that means that when you fail, it's just because you didn't try hard enough. But then I think in that post that you're talking about, in that same text, it says, but a wise person knows what is and is not possible through self-effort. You see, and this, to me, this is so big. And I'm sorry, but this could be one of the rabbit holes that we
I'd like
mentioned.
it. This is the hole I wanted you to go down, though. So thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
because I'll try to tell you the brief summary of this story, but to me, this says it really encapsulates it. Because basically, we can't, not everything's open to us, but something very good is open to us. Something within these limits, this, limited person that we are with our foibles and weaknesses and everything, all that whole combination of imperfect, bent me is perfect for something. And when you would discover that something and you go for it and go into it, well, then it's limitless in a way. It gives you that feeling of limitlessness. But you have to kind of embrace that you're shunted somewhere and there is all kinds of limits imposed on you in order to open up into what the possibilities for you are, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well
And
said.
I
Well
will
said.
tell
Yeah,
you,
that's I think that's
yeah,
so important. You're right. Like when you said about depression, that is a really good point because if we're thinking everything's limitless and then clearly we're not acknowledging the limits that we do face, that's a depressing reality because then I go, well, shoot, how come I'm not doing it? And so therefore,
exactly. You live in this terrible,
yeah,
terrible
yeah.
feeling about yourself. And
Ah, yeah,
yeah,
I know, man. Well, that's cool.
yeah. So the story, can I just tell it to you really
Yes,
brief?
please. I want, yeah,
Yeah,
keep going.
I'll try to, no, I won't stretch it out too
Don't
much.
worry,
But
don't
so
worry.
in this story, it's a Native American story about the trickster. Okay, and this is a archetypal character that's so important, and it's about the trickster's like the coyote, right? And it's kind of the outcast or the person that's different, and he does things differently, and he's thought of as lazy, and he's always imitating others, and he's trying to find the easy way to do stuff. If he sees like grizzly bear doing something, he'll go, "Oh, I can do that," and then he like does some really lame attempt at trying to do it, and it completely fails and gets him in trouble. And he's always bumbling and getting in trouble, and that's partly why people love stories about him, because he's just the imperfect one, just bumbling his way through, right? Um, and 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 so in this story, the chief of all the beings calls them together and he says, well, there's a new type of being coming. And he's saying that the humanity is coming and it's all the animals that, and he says, so we need to have like official jobs and names. And so tomorrow at dawn, we're going to assemble, the first come, first serve, gather in front of my lodge here, and we'll start giving off the names and the jobs. And so first, immediately, Coyote's like, "All right, I'm done with being Coyote. I'm gonna be first in line, and I'm gonna become Grizzly Bear, the king of the earth, and then, or maybe I'll be Salmon, king of the waters, or maybe Eagle." Something grand, something better than damn Trickster always getting into trouble all over the place. And his friends all know what he's like, boasting and stuff. So they're all kind of rolling their eyes. So he goes home and his wife also knows what he's like. So she's kind of, oh boy, here we go again. And so he's like, okay, he even tells her, I'm gonna leave her because I'm leaving this life behind. I'm gonna become Grizzly Bear or something important in this world. And so he says, stoke up the fire. I'm staying up all night. So I'll be first in line. So they do it, they stoke up the fire, and it goes okay until midnight or something, but then he starts like falling asleep, and he pins toothpicks in his eyes to try to stay awake, right? And next thing he knows, it's like he wakes up and it's the sun's high in the sky. So he goes running to that lodge, and it's no one's there but the chief, and he's like, I want grizzly bear. He's like, dude, that was taken the first thing at dawn. Salmon. No, it's gone. And he says, yeah, in fact, all the jobs and names are gone except yours. Nobody wanted yours. And but then he says, but look, man, look. I mean, because Coyote's just totally bummed, right? And he goes, but understand, I made you sleep in. I cast a spell on you because this is a perfect job for you, the trickster. And it's an honorable place, like because the trickster well, one is a beloved figure, but also is a boundary breaker. Like he's not just lazy. He also just doesn't follow rules because they're rules, and he's able to think creatively and like um, anyway, like he's a super valuable um, aspect of things, just like you and me are. And so we're saddled with these selves, these imperfect, and we always wish we were this or that or could do that or be like that person. But but we're perfect just as we are. So yeah, there you
Oh
go.
man, great story. Love it. And then so you and I are on our mats practicing. We have the revelation that I am good right here. This is great. I'm bending this far and I'm dealing with this ache pain in a way where I'm trying not to make it worse. And so then my next question is, why do we keep practicing? Why do we keep getting on there and doing it? And I'm just curious, like what your answer to that why is.
um well um
I know it's a hard question.
no, it's not. It's not actually hard. It's just it's big. Like there, I have
I
so
know.
many
I know.
so many things, but
I
no,
ask I ask myself this question often. That's why I love to hear what other long-term practitioners' take are because you keep showing up, you keep delivering, you keep teaching, you have passion, and I'm just curious then how do you keep kindling that passion and surely you come across some moments where it's dwindling a little and I just want to hear a little bit about how you're able to stay so motivated.
yeah. Um, so the thing is okay. I don't. I mean, I don't always stay motivated, and I want to just tell you that.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that. That's actually, I think you're very honest.
yeah,
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 yeah, of
and
course.
like I've I've been dealing with this impasse in myself, um, like a really weird one, Matt, Todd, sorry,
Okay.
is this not wanting to change anything about myself.
Yeah.
Just it's
Yeah.
like when if you ask me to change one bit, I'm just no, I don't want to change one thing, and it's a terrible it's funny. It's both sort of delightful in a way, but it's unrealistic, or it's a recipe for suffering, basically, is what it is. And and but it can come it can come on you. It can come this thing of like where we feel so um, pushed up against obstacles or pressure of our life that one change or one is just we just almost can't face it, like and see because what yoga really does ask from you is that it does ask you to keep sacrificing. Okay, so to keep
Ooh, yes.
and like
Yes.
you can't, and to really live life well you have to keep sacrificing. And and it can't be the sacrifice that you made yesterday. It really won't suffice for today. It has to be new. And if you don't, life is really is going to trample you in every way. Like your health will go down, physical, mental. Like the only chance that I see is to keep sacrificing and to keep like dedicating myself somehow more to these. I'm talking about basic things like to the daily habits that we have, because this is where we get stuck. right? And and here's the punchline. Practice helps you get there and stay there, or get to that place where when you let the practice go, then you become much more complacent, much more insulated, much more like protecting what you have, and then that only increases your struggle and your your suffering.
Oh man. Thank you so much for that answer. That's a really good answer because yeah, I needed to hear that.
Yeah. And then there's one other thing about it, and I just have to be honest that, like I'm like everybody. I have resistance to practice, but in the moment of practicing, I have great joy. And it happened from the first time I did sun salutations on the beach, and it still happens. But I am like Coyote. I do it exactly the way I want to. And I really don't, and because I do it the way I want to, I think that's part of why I have joy when I do it. It's like if a rule does not appeal to me, I don't follow it. And I'm willing to accept the consequences for myself. Because a lot of rules are made by important people that made them for good reasons. But when I step out there and do my thing, I take responsibility. And then one of my conditions is that I'm going to do what makes me happy. So that when I do get on the mat, it's a joyous experience. It's something I want to return to. And so it's not like I'm brutalizing myself or beating myself up, or and I possibly could be more disciplined about it because I have that idea. But one thing is for sure, I do it. I practice, um, and I don't do advanced series and things at this point, but I don't care.
Yes, yes. You know, that makes me think I'll refrain from utilizing any names, but there's a current scandal awareness going on in the Ashtanga community. And then I saw somebody else, again, refrain from using any names, saying, here's a picture of my certificate from being authorized back in a long time ago from Pattabhi Jois. And I'm resending it now because I feel like I want to just do it my way but do it honestly and let the honesty of the experience be the force that I'm attempting to uphold or the morality that I attempt to uphold. And I guess I would just based on everything you've already said, I'm curious if you feel like because you have taken the path of I'm going to do it my way and still be respectful at the same time, do you feel like now when you're witnessing these sort of earthquakes within a movement or an organization or a group of people, grateful that you have lived by that truth in the sense that now you stand with your body of work that you've accumulated over a long period of time that probably came harder than if you did toe the line. Did that make sense what I
Oh
said?
my
Is
God,
that a little too out there or is that
you're gonna make me cry. No, yeah, I mean, probably came harder is a very mild way of putting it. I have been, you know, battling against, uh, I don't know if that maybe that's a little dramatic, but no, I
I
mean,
understand what you mean though.
no, I've been I've
Yeah.
been blacklisted, removed off the thing, been shunned for, you know, using steps and customizing props. all of these things like, and Todd, it's tiring, like because, and it's interesting because like me, I love Ashtanga. You understand? I love the structure of it. And that's why I didn't leave it because to me, like I don't, I'm not interested in my making my own style. I love Ashtanga. I think the structure is like genius, um and so I don't leave, but I'm also not accepted. And so that's what I've been walking for. Um, now it's like at least 15 years of my teaching. And it's a damn challenge. Hell yeah. But
Yes, yes, yes.
and I'm very sorry when, the what used to these bigger, like, because bigger, like real harm, that's of an extreme nature, surfaces. But there's also there's a baseline unsoundness to the way it's being taught that still doesn't go addressed. And um, and what I can say is, yes, though I feel terrible for the people that are get harmed, and obviously that all that suffering is awful, but I do feel very thankful for that, for how what I've stood for and how I've proceeded. I definitely, yeah, like it's like thank God that
Yes.
I don't carry that on my conscience. Like, I mean, I did teach traditional way for a long time, and so I have that to on my conscience, but not what I've built going forward. Like I've sincerely tried my very hard, my very, very best to interpret Ashtanga in a safe and inclusive way that still gets at the what's there, the gold that's there.
Yes.
Um,
Well, you do a great job of it. Your videos are excellent. On that note, your Asana Kitchen series offers really in-depth tutorials. So everyone listening, please go follow. I mean, we can find you on all the social media channels. You're very savvy with the online stuff. YouTube is a great place to go, Instagram, any one of those. But
yeah.
you offer really in-depth tutorials, and I'm curious, what inspired you to create that platform, so to speak, the Asana Kitchen, and how has it evolved over time?
Yeah. Well, all of it was happened by accident, actually. Um, and it's been I've done it for a lot of years, actually. I was one of the very first Ashtanga teachers to do social media. Um, and my partner and Joy, she's a filmmaker. And the way we started it was just that we went to a filmmaker seminar in New York, whatever it was, many, many years ago. And it was social media for film, um, making films. But she was like, we could do this for your yoga. And and so that's how we started it. It's just and then she's a filmmaker, right? So we had the equipment and stuff. And so just started trying it. And then it was a little bit based on Tim Miller, when he used to do the workshop, the asana doctor.
Yes.
There would be that troubleshooting thing in the afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of based it like that. That was my idea, was to try to, um, kind of troubleshoot like that.
Cool. That's cool.
And I also had this blog, and I wrote really long, just rambling pieces. So, and but I've also kept journals. I'm really actually, it's that aspect of things is really interesting to me. And I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, I don't know what to think of it honestly, but it's like I'm a I feel like the part of me wishes I was an artist, like a more formally, like of some musician or painter or something like that, and but that I got the coyote job of yoga teacher.
Yeah.
And and so part of embracing it though is like making these things like that to me these books and videos and things they're like artistic creations to me that they're
Yeah.
like that's how I feel that like when I make a book I feel like that's a work of art I've created you know
Well,
and
it's amazing, David, because I've seen your work for a while and I've always been so like when you think, wow, they must have something extra special because I don't think I would be able to do that. And so now that I'm trying to copy you, so to speak, like maybe not like exactly, but like
yeah
I emulate that you've put so much work into it over such a long period of time that now that continuing on the track as well, and I'm just, I thank you for being consistent over such a long period of time because it's really motivating. It's inspirational, and I don't know. I just think that I'm glad you did put all that time in. I'm curious, like, when in terms of like production of a video, are you, because you know how you can geek out on this stuff so intensely, like every single edit could take for however long, and you could like you could scrub over every little detail. I'm just curious just about your thought process on your creation aspect. Do you try to not go
I
over?
want to show you something I
Yeah,
know I
please, please.
no
I'm always trying to, like, in terms of these podcasts, my goal is to hit record and do not make any edits unless for some reason I give every guest, and this holds true for you. If you go to bed tonight and you wake up in the morning and go, oh boy, I should not have said that. If you come to me and say, please, I'd like for you to cut that, I honor that request. So I never publish something that someone I interviewed doesn't want me to publish. But my goal is like hit record, go all the way through and don't touch it. Don't try to clean it. Don't
yeah,
try to
yeah.
polish it and shine it. And I would just like to know your thoughts I personally trying to, learn more. What are what's your workflow, your mental workflow
Well,
process? Yeah.
I've had to learn. It's been really challenging, honestly. Like, so this book, this is one of my
Yeah, I got to get it.
big one.
I'll read it out so the people that are listening and not watching, it's Ashtanga Yoga Vinyasa. What's the subtext at the bottom?
uh, mo- Movement, breath, and posture in the primary series.
Cool.
Yeah, and so
By
this book,
you, by you. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yes.
No, it took me 15 years to write it.
Nice. All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I'm not exaggerating. Like, and
Believe you.
but, but the thing is so much like so much of see this what's it's a cool topic actually because like it's funny how it's hard to face or think or like just in a basic way, not in a weird way, but that I'm 63. Yeah, I don't think I think of myself as younger or something somehow, but like often I'm the oldest person in the room with in the yoga rooms, which would I mean it's like whoa, wow, and
Yeah.
and I tell you though,
Like,
all
how
of
did
the
this happen?
yeah,
How, yeah.
how did this happen? I exactly. And it's so cool in a way because then there's people like 30 years younger than me, right? And and it like I just tell you that like those I'll just show you one second.
Yes, please. Yes, please. For those of you listen, the pause is because David's going to go grab
Yeah, so like
Another prop.
these,
Yeah.
these- I have all of
Oh,
these
cool. Wait. This book is called Hatha Yoga. Oh, this is your
the
journal.
hatha
Is it
the hatha yoga mandala.
Holy Circle? Wait, now is this a published book or is this just
No, no,
one
no. This
off?
is just a journal.
Dude, I
It's
love the
just like
artwork
a
on the cover too. It looks so like
yeah.
for
And
real.
then
Yeah.
I mean I have 100. This is another
Wow.
one.
Just
Yeah.
collecting and sketching
And
and
they have
oh, nice, dude.
drawings and
Nice.
writings
That's so cool,
and
man.
yeah, and like
So I guess then the question of like how do you figure out what to put in your book that you work on for 15 years is not as easy as a question as one would think, right? What do I focus on? What's
yeah, but what I want to what is amazing to me though is that when at first it doesn't need to be organized or um
yeah, I see what you mean.
you just start doing it.
Start
And
collecting.
it's like slowly
Yeah.
the valuable stuff starts to rise or you see it or the themes and like and the skill and these different variables that go into like expression and service. Like you're helping because that's what it's all kind of that's what I love about teaching yoga. And that's what I love about that coyote story because like to me that I teach yoga, it's a way of giving that's really unique and more powerful than what I would have come up with on my own. Like if I would have wanted to be a surfer or whatever, a musician or something. Somehow this combination is it really works. And so there's both this creativity aspect, but then there's also that you share it and it benefits people, right? And um, and so what I would say is to just do it and keep
Yeah.
doing it and keep doing it. And then it will, like how to edit it will become more and more clear.
Yes, great advice. Yeah,
Yeah.
David, man, I appreciate that. I'm stoked to hear that. I have just I want to mention your website is davidgarrigue.com. That's in the link. I think from there on your website, all your social handles are easy. People can click and find that, but you're on IG, David Garrigue Yoga, YouTube at David Garrigue. You have a Ashtanga Revolution course for primary series. You have very soon coming out a second series course. You also do
And those two, they're not on my website, but but if you're interested in those, they're excellent big um, video courses on primary and second series. Then you can um, contact me on just Instagram or through my website and ask me, and I will steer you towards those. But or I don't know if they're on. I'm pretty sure I don't know if they're on there. They they either are or aren't. I'm not sure honestly. But
That's cool.
uh,
Well, you responded to my email very quickly, so I know anyone who emails you, you'll do the same for them, which we
if you're
appreciate.
interested,
We appreciate it. And then you also do personalized coaching one-on-one, and I believe you have a certification training coming out. Out of those things that I just mentioned, is there something you want to talk about?
Um, just to let you know, I do this one-to-one personalized coaching, and that I'm really enjoying. And it's a small group and of people that I'm doing it with. But if you're interested in that, you could direct message me. And then I'm doing a 6 month kind of teacher training. It's like I'm running it in like June to November, and it's hard. It's a big kind of big thing because I'm decided that I'm going to do that. Is I will offer a
Yeah.
certificate, and it's
Yes. I hear you, and I think what you're referencing, the fact that it's a big thing, is because for so many years, a lot of people that were in the authorized certified world were told don't ever do that. So there's a little bit of a hill to jump in relation to taking on that authority to say, I'm going to do it. Is that what you're referencing
yeah.
when you say? Yeah. And
And the thing is that I teach according to these seven principles, asana principles. And me, I find them to be so valuable. And this is how I teach teachers, is to use these principles. And I give there's these areas of there's the core Ashtanga elements of the vinyasa and knowing like really the Ashtanga structure, but then there's a verbal language that is absent from traditional Ashtanga that I emphasize, like really being able to put language to what, be able to articulate how to do these poses, transitions and postures, and then also the steps and giving steps and modifications and how to use props and customize things. So so I feel like I'm offering something really needed, actually, that there's
Yeah.
just not enough training. There's not enough knowledge of the kind of knowledge that I think is important for an Ashtanga teacher to have. There's not enough of that out there, and so I'm providing it. And it's yeah, it's a it's a new that's kind of it's a leap for me because again, like I'm an artist at heart, and so to teach is one thing, and then to teach teachers, that's even another thing. But I've started doing the first one. It'll be finished in November, and I love it, and the people are great, and it's super, and so I feel very positive
That's
about it.
awesome, David. Well, you made mention of how change can be difficult, but it seems like you're recognizing the amount of growth potential that comes with doing something different and new like this
Yeah,
potentially has. That's awesome, man. Well, I'm so inspired. I'm stoked to have this opportunity. Thank you. I have one more question for you to finish up with, if that's okay with you.
sure,
Why
sure.
is that? Okay, cool. I want to be, respectful of your time. Looking ahead, what legacy do you hope to leave in the world of yoga?
Yeah. It's so funny because I watched like Sadhguru, you
Yeah.
know, I
Yes.
love him. And
I like them. Yeah.
he's always like, I don't know, they're more involved than I am. Because like he's like, why should I care about that? Like I'll be gone. And I don't know why, but it does matter to me. And it's actually like motivating me to do things. And I know that that's ultimately futile. I mean, like, because even if things like, who knows, the world could blow up, today. But it'll also at some point, even in a natural course of things, it won't even be here. And so those things are funny to chase, right? But at the same time, I'm like that's part. I don't know. That's part of why I write the books is because I want people to know what I thought about hatha yoga, and I want them to benefit from it, and I want what I uh, discovered to inspire people to go discover for themselves. I mean, it's a big thing to me, like really important. Um, and it motivates me. And it's also in a way like because it's been a real uphill battle through my life. Like, it's not, I would, do you understand how much I would like to be in the center of the lineage and accepted and, you know, part of it? And like, it's a cost a lot to go off on my own. And but part of it, then part of what makes it easier to bear is that I'm trying to leave this legacy behind of something important that I brought. to bring and have brought. And so,
Yes.
yeah,
Well said, David.
yeah.
Well said. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me and the listener. We
I have to
really,
tell you,
we really appreciate it.
I've really been, I've enjoyed your being with you a lot, like
Thank you, David.
very,
Well,
very much.
I saw you're going to be in Phuket in 2026. I love Thailand. I practiced Thai
Yeah.
massage and trained over in Thailand, and when I saw you were doing that, I thought, oh man, that would be so great. I wish I could somehow get away from my studio for a little and just be a
I'd love
student
to
in
work with
Thailand.
you.
But I really love your style. I like the artistic component that you bring in, and I really appreciate going against the grain and taking the DIY punk approach. And but also the time you put in is solid. It's not, I know you might make joke about being the coyote, but maybe part of the coyote's journey is having more resilience over a longer period of time because of the ability to jump around and have some fun during it. I don't know. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
well, thank you, David. I really appreciate it, and I hope to meet you in person in future.
Thank you, Todd.